If you are not sure how to fill a calendar page in your planner, this video is for you. Actually, it's kind of both for me and you because I also struggle with this and I wanted to find a systematic way to fill my calendar without feeling overwhelmed but being very effective. In this video, we will go through some steps that I find really useful when I fill my calendar page to help me not be overwhelmed yet not forget any of the tasks that I need to do. And I really wanted to make it into a system to make things easier for myself and hopefully also for you. Without further ado, let's go to the video. So this is my March calendar page and we will be using March as an example of how to fill your calendar page without feeling overwhelmed yet being very effective. And we're gonna start with what I call like yearly repeats, which is going to include any national holidays, especially where you have days off, any birthdays where you want to send a happy birthday message, and then anniversaries and stuff like that. In my case, for holidays, I will look it up online and I already know for March, it's only the 31st, that's Easter. I'm just gonna write here Easter. And then for birthdays and anniversaries, I have binder bullet journal, which I will go in depth in the future, but here I have a page dedicated exactly for that. I will copy things for March over to my calendar page. Privacy reasons, I'll just copy the date and write birthday, and I will come back later and actually write the name of the person whose birthday it is. So in my case, that's on the 6th, then on 23rd, and on 29th. I don't have anything else for March, so we can move on to next thing. Next thing is holiday events and stuff that impacts your whole day. The first thing that comes to mind here are weddings, and I know that not all weddings take the whole day, but sometimes they do, so just for that you can have them in mind. Next thing you can write are trips. Depending on how long the trip is, you can write just one day, you can choose to just write the whole day off, or you can choose to write off only the days that you would be traveling. For example, I don't have any trip in March, but let's say I was on a trip on 9th and 10th, I can write the whole days as trip. If I had a longer trip, for example from 9th to 13th, I could write on the 9th and 13th that I would be traveling, and then I could plan stuff still for 10th, 11th, and 12th. It really depends on what you want to achieve and what kind of info is useful to you. Another thing you can write here are days when you have guests over, like sleeping at your apartment. And in my case, I know that they will be coming this month. I don't know yet exactly the date, but for this example, I will say that I do. They will be coming from the 23rd to 27th, and I will mark those days like this. I will just put like a line like this. I'm writing this down right now because this will impact how I plan my other things, so it's important that I do it as soon as possible. Another thing you can write here are work from home days or office days, depending on again what kind of info is useful to you. In my case, because I only do Fridays from home, I could write Fridays, and I will do that actually. In case where you mostly work from home but only some days you work in the office, you can write down the other way around. You can also write here the days you have off, again depending on what kind of info is useful to you. I always have Saturday, Sunday off, so I will not write that down because it's consistent every day, but if I was to take like for example a Friday off, I will write that down. I would probably mark it somehow, but since a lot of times when you have a trip you have a day off, you may not want to do that. I will just put it on the list just so you know that you may want to include when you're filling your calendar page. Next category of things we will be including are part day events. So those are just events that take part of the day. It doesn't have to be necessarily evening, but as you will see in the examples, they are mostly evening events. Examples I'm including in this category are concerts, dates, going to the movies, birthday parties, having a big presentation or a big meeting, stuff like that. And I'm including that because you may want to write it down so that you can prepare for it, and you may want to have it in the calendar so you will see it. You may notice that some of these items are kinda items that other people could be scheduling for you, such as the birthday party. The host will probably be the one to schedule when the birthday party will be, so you don't really get any choice with that. Same thing could be said about the presentation or the meeting, or going to the movies with friends. You may already have agreed to it, you already bought the tickets, same with concerts. So these are things that you will already have to write a certain day. There are no moving them around, at least from the point of view where I'm filling the calendar pages. In my case, I don't really have much for March in particular. I do have plans to go on a date with my husband, and we will most likely do it on the 9th or 16th, but because at this point I don't really yet know, I will write them down in the weekly part here. So I will just write date night. And then when the week comes, we will decide if that's gonna be the week we're gonna do it or the next week. The next category is super important, and that is routines. And routines can include all kinds of things, but as the name says, it's things you do every week, more or less the same. And for the examples here, I will just go through them and we will write them down. You will see what I mean, because every person will have different routines, different stuff to put on them, so it's really hard for me to know which exact routines to include. This is up to you. In my case, we will start with posting to YouTube, and I usually do that that on Saturdays. So I will write posting on YouTube every Saturday. As you see, on the 23rd, because I marked it that people will be over, I now have to decide, will I be still posting YouTube on the 23rd or do I want to move it? In my case, yes, I would still like to post on YouTube on that Saturday, but that means that I will have to schedule it before, and I will just write down schedule YouTube on Thursday before that Saturday, which will mean that I will have to edit that video earlier, but we will come to that later. So that's posting for YouTube. Another routine of mine is to wash my hair on Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. Those were also my gym days back when I did go to the gym. Right now for March, I'm not yet gonna be coming back to the gym, so I'm not gonna write that down, but it would be the same days. Hopefully that will change, so I will include it in the list of things I will put down, but for March we will just write hair wash day. And I'll write this with a pencil instead of with my regular pen, because we're now approaching territory where things will be crowded, and if I want to be able to really see what's important, I have to kind of make the unimportant stuff less visible, and that will be achieved with a pencil, and even if it's too crowded I can just erase it later. These are routines that I have already established very well, so I don't really need to know that I am doing them on these days. I already do them on these days, but in case of planning other things I will write them down just with a pencil. You will see that I already wrote hair on Tuesday when we have friends over, and I will do the same on Sunday, but I just want to mention that the reason for that is because washing my hair has nothing to do with my friends being over or not. I will just do it anyway. That does not impact me. But if I was also to write going to the gym, in that case I would have to decide whether I want to move those days some other time of the week. Maybe I would choose to go to the gym and do my hair on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, or the next week, so maybe Thursday and Saturday. But in my case I will just write the hair because it doesn't impact me, and even if I was to go to the gym I will probably just skip it. I will be completely honest. And this is just an example after all. Next thing I will include as routines is going grocery shopping, which we usually do on Saturday, and that is because on Sunday basically everything is closed anyway, so we just do it on Saturday. As you can see, I did not write it on the day when our friends will be arriving, and that is because they will probably already be here, because they will probably arrive in the morning, so I know right now that I would have to move the groceries to Friday before. Next routine item I will be including is cleaning, which we always do on Sunday. We basically do like a weekly reset, and I can do a video of that in the future if you are interested. Please let me know down in the comments so I know I should make a video about it. Either way, I will be writing cleaning on Sunday. As you can see, I did not put clean on the days when our friends will be over. Obviously, I'm not gonna be cleaning. I'm just gonna take them through the town and we're just gonna be going out and having fun together. That means that right now I'll have to decide when I will be doing the cleaning for that Sunday. In my case, I can just move stuff I clean from this Sunday to this and this Sunday, and that's probably what I'm going to do. For the Sunday when they are already gone, I'm just gonna put like a star to know that I have to do some extra cleaning because I did not do it the Sunday before. Next item I will be including on my routine list is filming for YouTube, because I work Monday to Friday. I usually do on Saturday or Sunday, but most likely on Saturday. I don't film every single Saturday because I don't really need to. I can film a couple of videos on the same day. In my case, for March, I already have some things filmed, including this video right now, which I'm filming at the end of February, but I know that I will have to film at least my monthly reset videos, which will be filmed on the 2nd and then 30th or 31st of March. So I will write February reset, or is this March reset? And I will mark them with exclamation point just to know that these are super important to be done on this day. Reset videos really have to be filmed on particular days, so I will just schedule them on those days. Next thing I will include is editing the videos, and right now when you take a look at my schedule, you will see that only days I can do that are Monday, Wednesday and Thursday. Sometimes I do it on Saturday and Sunday evening, but weekdays evening are the days I mainly do them on. If I did go to gym, Tuesday and Thursday will be completely off the table, obviously. In my case, I can do a little bit of editing on those days, but I really prefer to do a longer session on the other days, so I will write down editing the video on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Right now you see that I did not write edit YouTube videos on the day before my friends come over, because I'm probably not gonna have time to do that because I will be grocery shopping. And you now can see why the order of putting things in is important. If you're writing everything with a pencil in the first go, you can now move things over and then go over with a pen after. In my case, for editing the YouTube, I will again do a similar thing that I did with cleaning. You can see that I wrote schedule YouTube on the Thursday, so I will just put like a star on these 2 days so that I know that I will have to do some extra editing on these 2 days, because not only do I now have Friday, I will have to schedule it a little bit before. We're mostly done with the routines. Now we'll go on to the next thing, which is preparing for certain tasks. Basically what that means is take a look at the tasks you already have and see if some of the tasks need some preparing in advance. In my examples, having having guests over means that I will have to clean their sheets where they will be sleeping some days before. I will write that down on Wednesday. I will write guest prep, which in my case includes washing their sheets, but generally preparing the area where they will be staying. Also doing a little bit of cleaning here or there, just again so that they will feel cozy and welcome. Other examples that could possibly be here are if you have a project somewhere here written and you need to buy certain items for it, or you need to prepare an outfit for a meeting or a presentation, if you need to do some prep like that. Same thing if you had a wedding, maybe you will need to write down preparing the outfit the day before, or even buying a present a couple of weeks before, stuff like that. And the best thing about preparing for tasks is that you can actually write that down as you are writing the task, because you're already thinking about the task, and if you remember that you have to do something for it, you can immediately schedule it. You don't have to do it as a separate step, and you saw that with my posting on YouTube as scheduling YouTube. That's basically an example for that. So I knew that if I was to post on YouTube when my friends were over, I will have to schedule it a few days before, and that's basically preparing for the task. Last but not least, I will include a category for side tasks, and that's any task that you don't really know which day you should include. You know that you have to do it this week, or you know that you have in this couple of weeks, but you don't really know the exact date yet, and that goes to this column here. In my case, the only thing I have like that for March is that our couch will be delivered in mid-March. We don't really know the date, so I will just put these 2 weeks. This just means that I'm expecting it to be in these 2 weeks. I don't know the exact date yet. I will just fill it on the exact date when I do know it. As I said, now I can choose to erase my hair inputs on all of these days, or I can just leave them, but because they're with a pencil, they are not super in your face as the other items. The next step here would be to copy these items from my calendar page to my weeklies. The main difference is that you do this more or less once a month in the beginning of the month, and then just copy these to your weeklies, whereas weeklies you would do every week, which means then you would choose what you want to include or move or completely skip. That's up to you. This is just a system to help guide us what we could be writing on our calendar, and then help us guide what we should write on the weeklies. The goal is to keep you from getting overwhelmed, but also make sure you don't forget anything. The same thing goes for me, and if you struggle to prioritize certain tasks here, you can use an example of my priority tasks for the day and then just scale them up for the whole month. You can watch that video over there or in the description. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it or you find it useful, please leave a like or a comment to let me know. That really helps my channel grow. It also helps me because then I know what you like. And if you enjoy videos similar to this, or about planning, organizing, or stationery, consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my future videos. Bye bye! Hello! And this is that video where will be included. No, and please let me down. Please let me down. Back of my head is not my problem. What did I forget to say? Also helps me know what you. The lighting changed. I hate it. Thank you very much for watching.